You could spend a lifetime managing the ego, but you might have noticed, if you're doing that the same lesson keeps turning up over and over and over. One of my favorite quotes is from Edna St. Vincent Millay, the poet and the author. And she said, life is not one damn thing after another. Life is one damn thing over and over. And that's how the lesson learners experience life. Okay. You've heard the phrase, change your thinking, change your life. This is very true. And there are levels of that and what it means. What I've been working with lately came to me one Sunday when I was speaking, and I just found myself saying this. What this teaching is not about changing your thinking. It's not about changing your beliefs. That's involved, but what it's really about is a changed mind. A mind that is essentially different than the one that's managing the ego. A mind that is different from the list maker, the goal setter, the map follower. A mind that can see through the appearance, as the master teacher Jesus advised us to do, to the cause behind it, to the power behind it, which is where the possible change is. And I would say that everybody in this room and everybody who's ever walked through these doors and studied this teaching is moving into a changed mind. Jean Houston, I love Jean Houston, she's a brilliant woman. She says we're actually becoming different people, different kinds of humans because of teachings like this. So this is the real deal in a nutshell, is that life is going to feel like an obstacle course and like one lesson after another until we deeply accept our spiritual nature. And to know there are no lessons to learn. There is something to know about ourselves. And you can't get it from the outer world. You get it from within. You get it from within. You know, going within is a catchphrase in our teaching, and it has always been there. And for some people, they think it means go fishing. Go fishing for an old belief. Go fishing for a memory. Go fishing for what caused you to feel this limitation. But going within doesn't mean any of that. It means to bypass that and go to the source of thought, which is being, which exists in absolute stillness. It precedes thought. It's behind the thought. And that's why any spiritual practice worth it's the time to do it must include silence. It must include some meditation time. So the real life lesson, and you've heard this before, it bears repeating, the only thing we ever experience is ourselves. Right here, sitting here, that's all you're experiencing. You're not experiencing me, you're experiencing yourself experiencing me. Right? Everywhere we go, as they say, there we are. We are the constant in our lives, the perceiver. So you can see how the changed mind could change the experience we're having. Reverend Dar talked about this, I just love your talk. It was so good. You know, I don't get to go to church very often. I hardly ever get to go to church because I'm always speaking. So it was a treat to sit and listen to you. You should have your own church, by the way. Sorry about that, Jay. Yeah. Okay, so we need to know that, you know, the old God was kind of parental. We need to know that our true parents, if you want to put it that way, are intelligence married to love. That's what makes up sentient life. Intelligence and love doing a dance together in a relationship. And it is the masculine and the feminine aspect of our own mind. And we can't do anything without those two in concert with each other. If you try to do it with just intelligence or just love, it's an incomplete experience. We need both. And what arises out of them is wisdom. Intelligence and love interacting produce wisdom. So let's say this out loud. I am the emanation of intelligence and love. You're the download of intelligence and love in action. See, and that's all we need. It's all we need to do anything in life, and do it from authenticity, from our real self. So when we know this, we are no longer at the mercy of the ego and its demands. But listen to this, it has a purpose. The ego has a purpose, so we're not trying to kill it, or we're not trying to manage it. We are trying to be masters of the whole content of our consciousness, threefold in nature. So we become guided by inner well-being, not guided by demands of the ego. They tend to disappear or lessen, and we feel the desire to reveal ourselves authentically. Have you felt that? I know you have. That's what's underneath the desire to come to a place like this on Sunday morning. It isn't just to be together. It's to keep discovering how to be more of who we are, more authentic, because we know that's where the juice is. We know that's where the good comes from, when we're really expressing ourselves authentically. So we want to shift out of the business, and it's tedious business, of learning lessons into expanding our awareness. That's what grows, is an expansion. You know, growth is not linear. Growth is an expansion, and there's a center point, and it goes out and out and out. And what happens when you expand your sense of self? You include more. Another point she made this morning about including the whole world in our prayer treatments, the whole world in our assessment of self. If I feel that I'm an emanation of love and intelligence, then I have to know that everybody is. And that means I have faith in humanity. That means I expect human beings to come up with the intelligent, loving solution to everything we've created that we're now calling a problem. So it reminds me of Michael Beckwith's statement. Michael's a real dear friend of mine, and he said, "Are we pushed by pain or pulled by a vision?" So we want to be pulled by this vision of the more of us, the true self, and allow that to take us wherever we go, because that's who and what we're always experiencing. Then the ego can do its real job. Now, the real job of the ego is to maintain the illusion of separateness. You see, spirituality isn't about an amorphous oneness where we all dissolve into the light. Spirituality is a paradox. It's being aware of the greater reality of our oneness while experiencing the deliciousness of separateness. If we didn't have separateness, we wouldn't be able to dance together. We wouldn't be able to go out and have a fabulous meal in a restaurant. We wouldn't be able to make music. We need separateness, but we need to know it's an illusion. It's a temporary manifestation, which makes it extremely precious because it's fleeting. Because nothing out there stays the same. It is always morphing, yes? And so when we're aware of that behind this, there is this beautiful field of never-changing reality that we can absolutely count on for our supply, for renewed love, for joy. This is where it all comes from. It doesn't come from the ego. It comes from the real self. So as we teach in our basic classes, we are beings of a threefold nature. We are spiritual beings, we have a mental aspect to our nature, and a physical. We're very aware of the physical. More and more people are becoming aware that the mental infuses itself into the physical, informs it, and of course more and more people are looking at spirituality as a component of their nature. It's starting to sweep the planet. I was just with Michael Beckwith last week in a little meeting, and Michael was telling me that he knows of over 100 fundamentalist ministers of Pentecostal and that kind of thing who are wanting to become New Thought ministers. They have given up that old-time religion. They are reading Ernest Holmes. Is that not exciting? Yeah.